So let's start with a problem that looks maybe something like this. Suppose that I have, or you have, let's see, how about 12.5 grams of calcium chloride. Not quite. Close. See, it is Ca and it is Cl, but you haven't balanced the formula right. Find the number of moles of calcium chloride. So then, we know the starting amount will be this, okay? And we're going to find some kind of conversion unit that allows me to go from grams, or a conversion unit that allows me to go from grams to moles. Okay, we want to go from grams to moles. Okay, that's what we're trying to do. All right, now this is going to require a little bit of calculation. I'm going to go ahead and put my starting amount over 1 because I want to get that formula written out, because that formula is how we're going to calculate this conversion unit. So in this case, you don't memorize a conversion unit. In the previous problem, you just have to memorize Avogadro's number from your mole project. Remember that mole project? You had to know my Avogadro's number? Okay. Well, now we have to know how to calculate molar mass. That was also in your mole project. Okay. So let's put 12.5 grams of that calcium chloride. Here is calcium and chlorine. Chlorine becomes chloride when I make it, when I put it on the end of the formula. And if it's ionic, it's also going to be a negative ion. The "-ide endings are reserved in the case of monoatomic ions for negative ones. Okay? So we look over here at calcium, 2+. Chlorine has a bunch of different oxidation numbers, but the only one that will allow me to neutralize that 2+ is this 1 negative here. So that means calcium must have a 2+ charge, chlorine must have a 1 negative, and doing all that math I've taught you previously, 2+ plus the 1 negative, coefficients of 1 here and 2 here will give me that 0 I need overall, and that's where I got that 2 from. That becomes a 2 here, and the formula is CaCl subscript 2. So the prefixes here, the coefficients here become subscripts when you bond everything together. Okay? That's where it came from. All right, so let's calculate the molar mass. Then by definition, molar mass is the sum of all the atomic masses. So we've got calcium and chlorine, the sum of all the atomic masses of all the atoms. How many atoms do I have there? 3 of them. I got 2 chlorines, so I need 2 masses of chlorine, don't I? Okay? The sum of all the atomic masses of all the atoms in the formula, written in units of grams. So if we look for, on this periodic table, and find the atomic mass for calcium, it's 40.078. Yes, you need to. 40.078. And chlorine is 35.453. And it's the sum. We're going to add all those up. So we get out your trusty calculator. And I get 110.984. Okay, You check for significant digits, but the rule for addition and subtraction is we only round off those numbers that come from empty slots over here on the right. And we don't have any this time. So we don't have to do any rounding here, okay? Can you do what?
Move it up right quick.
Move it up.
Yeah, like move it. Not like down.
Oh, you want to see the problem name or something?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So we said that the definition is the sum of all the atomic masses of all the atoms in the formula written in grams. So this is grams. Now that's not quite enough, because in order to convert from one unit of measurement to another, I need an equality statement to build a conversion unit. Okay? I need an equality statement to build this conversion unit. So what is this mass here equal to? 1 mole. Okay? And the species that applies to it is calcium chloride. Okay? So, once you do this math to add up all the atomic masses of all the atoms in the formula, you have to finish out the equality statement.
How you know if you get 1 mole?
Because that's what we said the definition was. Molar mass. Molar mass is what 1 mole of a species is. Okay, it's the sum of all the atomic masses of all the atoms in the formula. So here's our sum, and so that molar mass for this species is equal to 1 mole of that species. Okay? So now we have what we need to build this conversion unit. Okay? So which side of this equality statement is going to go on the bottom? Left or right? Left side is going to go on up there because it matches the units and species of the previous part of the problem. Okay? So we put 110.984 grams of calcium chloride on the bottom. What goes on the top? 1 mole. But you can't just say 1 mole. You got to say what it belongs to. Calcium chloride. Yeah. Okay. We're almost ready to do the math. Almost. What do we need to do before we do the math? Cancel out. Cancel grams. They're the same. Calcium chloride's the same. Okay. Now we're ready to do the math. Okay? Sadie? What mathematical operation is this? Yes, divide. Very good. Okay? So you take this number and divide by that number. So please do that. Get your trusty calculator out and do that, please. To find the significant digits in a division problem, it's the same as a multiplication problem. You look at the measured and calculated numbers and choose the one with the least digits and round your final answer to that same number. Least. 3 is correct. Yes. Okay, did everybody get the same thing? All right. Jacob, what do you need to do next? Did I write some number wrong?
You got 4 and 7 switch, but it doesn't really matter.
I got 474. You don't have a 4 on the end?
Oh, no, we ain't got no.
Okay, see, some calculators don't have as many digits. They can't go as far to the right. That's okay. If yours stops at 7, that's where you stop. If yours stops at 4, that's where you stop. Okay? All I expect you to do is give me all the digits you have on your calculator. Fair enough? Okay.
We have to write all the digits down and then
Yes, that's what I want you to do. Okay? All right, so what, Jacob, what do I do next?
Well, there's 3 significant digits, so you underline until you, like, the 6 to 8, 8.
Okay, but I need to do something else over here too.
You
I need the units and the species here. Never leave off those. Okay? But now I am ready to round off. Okay? And I get 0.113. Got a number that's 5 or above. It's going to round this number up, or cause this number to be rounded up. Moles of calcium chloride. Okay? Okay, everybody got that? Got it all written down? Any questions about how this process works? All right, just to review then, if I don't see any hands, just to review, when you're going from moles to grams or grams to moles, if the problem is asking you to convert from grams to moles or moles to grams, you've got to calculate the molar mass. Okay, this is not something you can memorize like the particles to moles, which was Avogadro's number. You've got to calculate molar mass because it's different for every species. Okay? Calculate the molar mass. Your molar mass calculation must finish with this equality statement. It's got to finish with the equality statement. From the equality statement, you write your conversion unit. Remember, you always have the units and species on the bottom from the equality statement that matches what was in the top of the previous problem, or part of the problem. Okay? Then you can solve the problem, not forgetting to keep up with your units and species and rounding properly at the end. Okay? Any questions? All right then. Here's a problem for you to solve on your own. Yes, if you got $1. All right, so there's your question.